Last lesson, we got OpenCode running. Today, the first command to run in any new project, /init. By the end of this lesson, you'll have run /init in your project, OpenCode will have written a draft agents.md, and you'll know what to do with that draft. This is the foundational setup command for any OpenCode project. What is /init? It's the command that auto-generates agents.md for your project. You type /init inside OpenCode. OpenCode studies your project, reads the file structure, the README, key files, the language and framework. Writes a draft agents.md. You review it, edit to taste, then commit it to Git. What does OpenCode actually do during /init? Reads your file tree, gets the shape of the project. Reads README if you have one. Reads key files, package.json for Node projects, pyproject.toml for Python, cargo.toml for Rust, etc. Infers language, framework, structure, conventions. Then writes all that is marked down into agents.md. OpenCode reads your project and writes a memory file. Clever, here's what the draft might look like. Project name and summary. Detected structure, main folders and what they hold. Conventions OpenCode inferred, Python conventions from your code style. And a detected section listing the main dependencies. All of this from a single /init command. OpenCode writes it, you refine it. What to do with the draft? Review it carefully. OpenCode is guessing based on what it saw, sometimes wrong, sometimes incomplete. Fix anything wrong. Add things OpenCode missed, conventions only you know, project-specific rules. Remove things that don't matter or that you don't want the model to focus on. The draft is a starting point, not a finished file. Commit it to Git. Agents.md goes in the project root, alongside README. Commit it, it's part of the project, shared with the team. Everyone who uses OpenCode on this project benefits from the same context. Update the file as the project evolves, new conventions, new structure, new rules. Treat it as living documentation. Drafted by OpenCode. Refined by you. Committed for everyone. When should you run /init? First time you set up OpenCode in a project. After major project changes, new framework, new structure. When agents.md is missing or stale. You can re-init over an existing file. OpenCode will merge intelligently rather than overwrite. But always review the merge before committing. Do you have to run init? No, OpenCode works without agents.md, but it has no project context. Every session, you'll re-explain your project. 5 minutes of init saves hours of repetition across many sessions. Almost always worth it. If you remember one idea, /init bootstraps project memory. It studies your project and writes a draft agents.md. You review, edit, commit. Every session after benefits from that initial work. One command, permanent returns. Quick recap. /init studies your project, files, structure, dependencies. Writes a draft agents.md. You review, edit, commit to Git. Re-init after major changes. OpenCode merges intelligently. Coming up next, your first real question. We've installed OpenCode, connected a provider, picked a model, run /init. Now we actually use it. Your first question, something simple, to see how the loop feels. Then we cover how to read OpenCode's answer well. Phase C ends there. Phase D is the daily loop. One command. Permanent returns. /init. Drafted, refined, committed. The agents.md lifecycle. Project memory bootstrapped. Ready for your first question. Thanks for running /init with me. Next, your first real question to OpenCode.